Hello guys, and welcome to this Italian tutorial. My name is Claudio, and I'm just gonna do something that most teachers wouldn't do. I'm gonna teach you the pronunciation before teaching you most of the grammar. So it's something very strange. Most people teach the grammar first, and in this course I decided to teach pronunciation before grammar because I think it's more important. At the end of the day, communication is an exchange of sounds, and there's no point in learning anything if you can't express yourself in a proper way. Also, if you learn things wrong the first time around, then it's very difficult to change and correct. Okay, so this is the phonemic chart or phonetic alphabet, and it's a map of all the sounds in the English language. So you know all these sounds already, so you don't have to worry about these. So what are we going to do today? I don't know. Today we are going to get rid of all the consonants, because that's what we're going to do next time. And we are going to focus on vowels. Of course, vowels are much more important than consonants as far as understanding each other is concerned. So you want to speak well, and in order to do that, you have to learn how to pronounce the Italian vowels well. So in English, you have a lot of sounds that you can make with the vowels. So you can have the sound E, like in read. You can have the sound I, like in sit, or pit, and so on. And then you have diphthongs. Diphthongs are these sounds, and they're called diphthongs because they are basically two sounds together. It's a sound that is changing throughout, like here. Basically, you don't have any diphthong in Italian, so good news. All we have to worry about is these sounds right here. These are the pure vowels, and they are E, I, U, O, A, A, E. And these are, of course, there are slight differences between accent and accent, but they are part of the English language, and you should know all of these. Now, as you can see, they are 12. So we have 12 different sounds, and what we're learning today is 5 Italian sounds. The reason why we only learn 5 is because with the vowels, you can only make 5 sounds in Italian and not 12. So again, this is really good news. Let's get rid of the schwa sound, the neutral sound, that is very common in English because it doesn't exist in Italian. Now, if I get the right tool, here we are. Okay, and we basically put the okay, now I'm messing around. And we replace it with this. Basically, this sound is pronounced I in Italian. And the reason why I place it here is because it's very similar to the sound E of man or trend or send in English. But it's not quite as wide. The mouth is not quite as wide when you pronounce it. So it's not A, but it's I. Of course, it's not as long as of word or world. Therefore, we place it right here in the middle. Then we have the sound A. Again, we get rid of this that we don't have in Italian, and we place it right here in between A of cat and R of car or part. And we place it here in the middle for the same reason. It's because the sound itself is a bit of a mixture between these two English sounds. So it's pronounced a, a. Then we take this. This is pronounced I, I, and sounds very similar to E in English, like read or breathe. And it also sounds similar to I of sit, pit, trick, slip. But again, is a bit of a mixture of these two sounds. So we place it in the middle because that's its place. Then we move on to O, O, O. And O needs to be right here, in between O, like north, or sort, or sword, and A of not, plot, stop. As you can see, this O is not as wide as A in stop, and not as long as O in north. But again, it's somewhere in between. And the last Italian sound is U, U. And it's in between U of book and O of toe. So here we are. We have learned these 5 vowels. Now, these sounds are by far the most important sounds in the whole entire language. And these are the only sounds that you can make in Italian with vowels. And because of the way the Italian language itself is constructed, basically you have always the same sounds when you have vowels. So basically when you have the word cane, you read the letter A, and you don't care about the context. So no matter what word the letter A is in, you're always going to pronounce it the same. So it's not like in English where you kind of get rid of the end of the word and pronounce it neutral. For instance, the English way of pronouncing the word pasta is pasta, but in Italian it's pronounced pasta, pasta. So there's just as much emphasis on the second A as there is on the first one. So if you know how to pronounce this letter, a, then you can pronounce all the words that contain that letter, because as soon as you find it, you read it the way it's pronounced, and it doesn't change. It's always pronounced in the same way. Same is in the case of Mario. Mario doesn't read Mario, it reads Ma-ri-o. Mario, Mario, Mario. You basically pronounce each letter individually, and that sound doesn't get altered, and it stays the same no matter what word or what context. Again, in here, cane, cane. It's not can or canny, it's cane. This is because the letter E is always pronounced E, cane, and the letter A is always pronounced A, as we've seen. So I think this was a quick video, but it's probably, I don't want to say the most important one, but this is certainly one of the most important concepts of the whole entire language. So if you're passionate about learning Italian, if you're planning on learning Italian, if you want to become fluent, then you must practice these vowels. So practice this week and make sure that you know how to pronounce these sounds before the beginning of the next video, before watching the next video. And even if you don't worry, keep practicing. Remember that it's very important, and if you have a question, don't be afraid to ask or post a comment. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care.